as a vindication for the Election Commission of India, the Apex Court refused to order a stay on the voter list revision exercise in Bihar that's currently underway. Supreme Court has observed that this is a democratic process. However, the Supreme Court bench hearing the petitions against the exercise asked the poll panel to consider Aadhaar, voter ID and ration card as a valid proof of documentation as well. Now, the special intensive revision of the electoral roll is underway in poll-bound Bihar. Opposition, remember, has been calling it a conspiracy, alleging that this exercise is designed to benefit NDA in the upcoming elections. Yesterday, Rahul Gandhi joined RJD's Tejasvi Yadav in Patna for the Bihar Bandh rally, opposing the voter list revision. In the Supreme Court today, the petitioners said the process of intensive revision is being carried out in a slapdash manner. They even questioned the timing and the way it is being conducted. Supreme Court, on the other hand, asked EC to adopt a fair process and follow all the rules. Now, the next hearing in this case is going to happen on 28th of July. Let me straight away go across to my colleague Harish joining us on the broadcast more on this. Harish, so in a nutshell, the Supreme Court has ordered that this exercise is going to continue. But what happens on 28th of July when we are going to see the next hearing in this case?
Yes, a very significant development and shot in the arm for the Election Commission of India, because the Supreme Court vacation bench has given them permission to go ahead with the Herculean task, and very clearly said that it's a democratic process which is on, and the court cannot intervene and court cannot interfere with the electoral process. Remember, the Election Commission of India had also very vehemently argued against any kind of stay or insistence on accepting any document like Aadhaar, voter ID card or ration card, but in the end the Supreme Court said at least consider, it's up to you whether to consider Aadhaar card, the ration card or the voter ID card is left to the Election Commission of India. But the Election Commission of India very clearly said that it will not interfere at this moment. The Election Commission of the Supreme Court said it won't interfere. ECI said that the Supreme Court must allow us to complete the process, and if you find any deficiency, you can suggest corrective measures. But at this juncture, if you intervene, the entire electoral process, the Bihar Assembly elections will be in trouble. We cannot hold it on time. So the Supreme Court initially asked several pointed questions as to the timing and the timeline. That is just 30 days given to the people to submit their documents, and also very pointed questions as to how Aadhaar and the voter ID card issued by the Election Commission of India itself cannot be accepted. So several questions were asked, but in the end the Supreme Court refused to stay the electoral roll revision, the special intensive revision, which the several petitioners, opposition parties like Congress leader K.C. Venugopal, Mahua Moitra, Manoj Jha, they had argued that this is nothing but a veiled attempt to ensure that a section of the voters are removed from the electoral rolls, lakhs are defranchised, and a situation is created whereby the ruling combined, that is the JDU, BJP, will win the elections.
Right.
But the Supreme Court vehemently rejecting this argument by the petitioners and saying that this is a democratic process and we will not interfere. And the next date of the, and very significantly, the Supreme Court has sought the view of the Election Commission of India for on the petition which sought scrapping of the S.I.R. and has sought the response. I'm just
interrupting you there. Request you to stay on with us. We have Guru Prakash of the BJP joining us on the broadcast as well. Good afternoon, Mr. Guru Prakash. Appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now. Your first reaction to this big development as far as the voter list revision exercise is concerned. It is now going to continue following SC's observations today. Opposition has been calling it a conspiracy, and the manner in which it was being conducted.
No, I think what is going to be the opposition strategy now? After questioning the Election Commission, are they also going to question the Supreme Court of India? Is there no rule of law? Is there no faith in the Constitution of India? This is just beyond our comprehension beyond our imagination. The country is run by institutions, the constitution is run by institutions, and the institutions are election commission, which is mentioned in the constitution. The Supreme Court has just reiterated what we have been saying for weeks. Election Commission of India, under the powers assigned to them under Article 324 to 326, they were conducting an exercise which was regular and routine in nature, but the entire opposition made a campaign out of it, which was unwarranted and has no resonance with law at all. Now
Right.
I think opposition has to accept and move ahead.
Okay.
The S.I.R which is being done is in accordance with the Representation of People Act and the Representation of India rules. It is constitutional and lawful as it's been upheld with the Supreme Court of India.
Right.
So I think it is the opposition under the leadership of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Tejasvi Yadav who has to answer these questions. Are they going to question the
Guru
Supreme Court of
Prakash,
India now?
in fact, we are getting a reaction as well from the Congress party, and Congress party has called it a relief for the democracy. And Congress party is also talking about the fact that how Supreme Court has now given its views through this, and also how they have asked the Election Commission to consider, adding Aadhaar, voter ID card and ration card also in this list, because the current list of documents was not exhaustive. This is their first reaction.
No, see, you cannot selectively quote anything from the Supreme Court judgment. The letter and spirit effect of the Supreme Court judgment is that the exercise which has been ongoing is fully in consonance with law. It reflects the constitutional commitment. Now, the opposition cannot selectively quote a single line from the verdict and say that our position stands vindicated. This is not the way it works. The entire modus operandi, you have to understand, of questioning independent agencies,
Right.
of questioning the institutions of constitution is something which should
All
be
right.
unwelcomed for a democracy like ours.
All right. Mr. Guru Prakash, appreciate you joining us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. I'm now joined by Mrityunjay Tiwari of the RJD. Mrityunjay Tiwari जी, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत शुक्रिया. आप किस तरह से देखते हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आज जो ऑब्जर्वेशंस रहे बिहार में इलेक्टोरल रिवीजन की जो एक्सरसाइज चल रही है उसको लेके कोई स्टे नहीं दिया है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि ये डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस है और जो ईसी की द्वारा एक्सरसाइज की जा रही है वो चलती रहेगी.
देखिए, ऐसा है, माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने जो भी आज बहस के दौरान बातें कही है उसमें बहुत 2-3 पॉइंट ऐसे हैं जिसमें आधार कार्ड हो, राशन कार्ड हो, ये सब जोड़ने की बात भी कही है. और 28 तारीख को अगली सुनवाई होगी, तो इंतजार किया जाए 28 तारीख को. 28 तारीख को क्या होता है ये देखा जाए, इसके बाद ही इस पर कोई प्रतिक्रिया दी जाएगी. इतना तो है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी सवाल खड़े किए, बस
नहीं, लेकिन मृत्युंजय तिवारी जी, जैसे विपक्ष का कहना था कि ये एक कंस्पिरेसी है, एनडीए को फेवर करने के लिए ये पूरी एक्सरसाइज को कंडक्ट किया जा रहा है बिहार के चुनाव से पहले, लेकिन उसके बारे में जैसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज ऑब्जर्व किया कि ये डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस है और पोल पैनल कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं इस प्रोसेस के साथ में, तो आपको लगता नहीं है कहीं ना कहीं जो एक नैरेटिव स्प्रेड किया जा रहा था विपक्ष की तरफ से कि ये कंस्पिरेसी है, जानबूझ के बीजेपी और एनडीए को फेवर करने के लिए किया जा रहा है, वो नैरेटिव फेल हो गया है कम से कम?
देखिए, ये बात है कि लोकतंत्र में जो हमारी मांग थी, जो हम
Okay, I think we've lost that connection because of a bad line out there, but we'll try and reconnect with him and get you more details on what the RJD really has to say about this. Moreover, there are more reactions, in fact, that we are getting for you at this point in time. Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, Vijay Kumar Sinha, has welcomed the observations by the Supreme Court, and the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar says, our aim is to ensure that only genuine votes are cast. He further says outsiders, be it the people from Bangladesh or Pakistan, should not be allowed to influence Bihar or India's politics. Listen in.
विजय सिन्हा जी, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने चुनाव आयोग को बड़ी राहत दी है, कहा है आप अपना काम कीजिए और संवैधानिक संस्थाओं के काम में हम दखल नहीं दे सकते हैं.
देखिए, माननीय न्यायालय का निर्णय स्वागत योग्य है. जो भी निर्णय लेंगे, मकसद एक ही है कि जनून लोग वोट डालें, बाहरी लोग वोट नहीं डालें. बांग्लादेशी हो या पाकिस्तानी, बिहार या देश के अंदर की राजनीति को प्रभावित न करें. और इसके पक्ष में जो खड़ा होते हैं वैसे लोग देश के हितैषी नहीं है. दुर्भाग्य से ये अप्पू और पप्पू दोनों नेता प्रतिपक्ष देश और बिहार में बन गए। इन लोगों का अनुभवहीनता साफ झलकता है। जमीन पर काम किए नहीं है, माता पिता के नाम पर पद मिला, सोने के चम्मच लेकर जन्म लिए। ये देश के हित में क्यों नहीं सोचते हैं? संवैधानिक संस्था का बारे में भ्रम फैलाना, अपमान करना और संविधान के किताब लेके चलना, और वो भी कल संविधान के किताब बिहार में जब खोले तो सादा पेज नजर आया।
परिवारवाद के दो नवाब जो बोले झूठ बेहिसाब, शरिया की वकालत करने वालों ने किस प्रकार से संवैधानिक संस्था ईसी पर डाला दबाव, ये कल पूरे देश ने देखा है, बिहार ने देखा है। आज जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ये मामला आ रहा था, कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जिनकी ईसीआई से नहीं सीसीआई मतलब कंडीशनल कमिटमेंट इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस है, तो इसीलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अंदर ये मामला आने के बावजूद भी सड़कों पर उतरकर उत्पात मचाने का और संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को धमकी देने का जो दुस्साहस किया गया है। राहुल गांधी जी कहते हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन को देख लेंगे, अगर उन्होंने कुछ इस प्रकार से किया तो हम उनको देख लेंगे।
Let's now move on and shift our focus to the big story we have for you from Karnataka. Viewers,